thing. I have a box on my head. Today's video comes to you in 4 parts. Part 1. So as you noticed, I've been watching all of the vlogbrothers videos, and it's been making me really happy. Partly because I just love John and Hank, and as you mentioned, I get so excited every time a new video pops up, and then it's like I have a whole bunch of new videos to watch. But I also am just kind of somebody that likes to have the whole picture. If I like a TV show, for example, I want to watch every episode. And if I read a book in a series, I want to read all of the books in that series. I just kind of like being an expert about things that I really like. So now I get inside jokes. For example, I knew that like eating toilet paper was a thing, and I knew that like peeps were a thing, and I knew that saying "that's so jokes" was a thing, and I got the whole putting things on your head thing, but I didn't really understand where any of those things came from. And now I do, and I like it. I like it a lot. Part 2. So we're gonna go on a field trip. So today my friend Kale and I went to the university archives to look at a variety of things, but the main thing that I wanted to see was the 15th century Philosopher's Stone manuscript that my school owns, which has very detailed instructions on how to make a Philosopher's Stone. Unfortunately, the manuscript is written in Latin, and it's beautiful and calligraphied Latin, but it's Latin, so it's a little bit difficult to read. This particular manuscript was copied by a 16-year-old boy in the 1400s, and he's just got this gorgeous handwriting that looks like artwork, and I couldn't help but compare his handwriting, which has like red accents and carefully added corrections and little hands drawn in anytime he needed to insert something he'd forgotten, to my own teenage brother's handwriting, which looks quite like chicken scratch. But yeah, so it was very cool, and I'm excited to look at more manuscripts when I go to England, and you can hear me geek out a little bit more. Part 3. Thank you for the additions to my playlist. By the way, if you have anything else that you think I should do, it's not too late to tell me. And hopefully I'll have your postcards done this weekend. Also, if you want a postcard, it's not too late for that to happen. Just send me a message. I want to know when you went to the world's largest basket. It better have been more than 2 years ago. Do you realize how close I live to the world's largest basket? Close enough to visit it in a day. I'll tell you that much at least. I just want to say that if you'd been at the world's largest basket and I was at school and you didn't come visit me, there will be hell to pay. Thank you for the cooking suggestion. I like the idea, but I'm not sure it's gonna happen. 'Cause see, it's hot here. Which brings me to part 4. It's so hot. Today is a nice break. It's only in the 80s. But yesterday it was in the mid-90s and humid. And the building I'm staying in does not have air conditioning. So if I were to bake, it would just get a little bit hotter. Do you ever wonder how people used to live without air conditioning? There are some parts of the country and the world where you could live comfortably without air conditioning for the majority of the year. And indeed, most of the school year I am fine without air conditioning. But during the summer, how did people bake in this heat? How do people in like Mississippi and Alabama manage? Or Florida? Can you imagine living there when like the clothing style required you to be in like full-length dresses with petticoats and all kinds of nonsense? Yuck! So that's my 2 cents. I'm a bit of a weather wimp. And finally, as a challenge/punishment for not making a video yesterday and throwing off the thing, which means that you're not going to have a challenge Friday, so I'm making you have a challenge Thursday, and I'm not going to do a challenge this week. Your challenge for Thursday is this. Number 1, baking or baked goods. Number 2, characters from Sesame Street or some other PBS kids show that we watched when we were little. Personally, I'm partial to Arthur and DW, but to each his own. And finally, a Sesame Street song. C is for Cookie is one of my favorites, and I would enjoy singing that song. Just saying. Enjoy your time in San Diego or wherever you are in the country at this point. I don't really know anymore. And I'll see you tomorrow, Caroline.